Hi guys, what is going on and welcome to today's YouTube video. In today's video we are going to discuss the current state of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Euro against dollar and also GBP against the dollar. We are going to go with another weekly Outlook video on Monday, as the previous two weekly Outlook videos were being received exceptionally well, and also the ideas that we shared in those weekly Outlook videos last week and the week before played out extremely well as well. So once again, a weekly Outlook video for you guys. Let's have a look at what we discussed last week on Bitcoin, which played out beautifully. I was telling you guys we are going to see a sweep of this sell liquidity at some point, and we are going to find support at the mid-range before a potential reversal, which we did, and that is definitely something exceptionally well. Played out very well, once again showing to you guys how well it works to trade the range until it breaks. And that is exactly what we have to keep doing, because guys, we are still in this range, and until we do leave this range with a confirmed breakout or breakdown, there's no reason not to trade it. Currently, we are seeing a pump on Monday. Now, the previous times that we saw a pump on Monday, I told you guys to be very careful and that the pump is likely to be retraced. Why is that? Because when you pump during Asia, the pump can never be trusted. If you pump right after the weekly open, the pump can never be trusted. And why is that? Because looking at the weekly candlesticks, whenever you look at a green weekly candlestick, you constantly see the wicks to the downside being created first before an expansion to the upside. Just look at all of the weekly candlesticks. Every green weekly candlestick has a wick to the downside before expanding to the upside. Now, on the current weekly candle, and that is what happens when you pump straight away after weekly open, we see no wick to the downside whatsoever. On the other hand, looking at red weekly candlesticks, we can see constant wicks being created to the upside first before expanding to the downside. Now, that is potentially what could be going on right now for the Bitcoin price. Maybe we are creating a weekly candlestick in the red, in which we are currently creating a weekly wick to the upside before expanding to the downside. And that is something that we have to take into account. We have to try and control our emotions. We have to try and not to let this Monday pump confuse us. If we mark out last week's high, we can see that we are close to taking out last week's high as well. Now, something that could be happening over here is that maybe later today we are going to get one more squeeze up on the lower time frames. We are going to take out this high that we put in just yet. We are going to take out the previous week high. We are going to retest the range high area, maybe deviate above, get back below, and we are going to retrace this pump towards mid-range. Now, around the mid-range is definitely where we have some liquidity being built up over here as well, because this is where some longs were accumulated before the reversal occurred to the upside. And this is also where there's still some liquidity resting beneath these lows over here. That might be a nice draw on liquidity for the Bitcoin price, right? Because a lot of people that are now going to open up longs during this pump, there's only one way to cover their stop loss, which is beneath these lows, or these lows over here. So that's the clear draw on liquidity. Now, if bears want to push the price down after retesting that range high, there's one important area to overcome, which is the quarterly range over here. We can see that when this range is being formed, this quarterly range has been getting respected as support and resistance numerous times for the Bitcoin price. Now, this quarterly range is definitely an area of interest for potential longs. Why? Because we can see that right beneath that quarterly range, we also have this very important support and resistance area over here, right? So we can expand it to the right. We can see numerous times support and resistance coming in for the Bitcoin price. Also over here, huge support, resistance, and that's all in the exact same areas we can see. So this is the line in the sand for the Bitcoin bulls. Hold this area of support and we can squeeze higher. Lose this area of support and 100% we're going to go for these lows around the mid-range once again, because we are going to trade the range until it breaks. But trading the range until it breaks includes the quarterly ranges. So if we pull back inside of this area, and if I see signs that the price is holding the area of support, we can open some longs targeting this liquidity, and maybe even higher prices and a potential breakout out of the range for the Bitcoin price. Because holding the upper quarterly range would definitely be a bullish sign in which we can potentially expect a breakout targeting this drawn liquidity over here for the Bitcoin price. Okay, so either reject the range high, go in with a short. If we manage to hold the quarterly area over here, go in with a long targeting higher levels for the Bitcoin price. Very clear plan, very obvious plan. Also looking at the EMAs, they're also aligning with this quarterly range over here on the 4-hourly time frame. So extremely important area to hold on to for the Bitcoin price. Now, moving over to Ethereum, we can see that Ethereum is potentially confirming a deviation below the range low. Memon in our VIP section opened up a beautiful trade exactly over here at the local low. Beautiful long trade on Ethereum, anticipating that potential deviation, which is now close to being confirmed. But if we want to confirm this deviation, we need to shift structure again on the 4-hourly time frame. In order to shift structure, we need to break this previous lower high that brought us to this fresh low. Now, what we are currently seeing is that we wicked above that high. Does that count as a valid break of structure? It doesn't. For a valid break and shift in structure, we need to open and close candles above this previous lower high over here. And until we do, there's no shift in structure, and I'm not comfortable in longing the pullback towards a range low. But if we do shift structure, and we do open and close candles above the previous lower high, like this, and we do get a pullback, I'm going to look for longs around the range low area, expecting a move towards the mid-range, and expecting potentially move towards a quarterly range over here, and potentially range high area over here. Very clean plan for Ethereum. Very clean plan with a very simple invalidation beneath this low over here. Once again, trade the range until it breaks. As long as the range is there, we can profit from it, okay? Important area of resistance to overcome will be this quarterly range over here. So maybe right now we can test that quarterly range in which we shift structure over here as we open and close candles above the previous lower high, get a pullback all the way towards the range low. If this occurs, everyone will get extremely bearish, anticipating a breakdown. Now, that's exactly what you want to see when you're near strong support, which the range low, of course, is. In that case, this is the perfect area to look for longs, in which we can target high levels for the Ethereum price. Next up is euro against the dollar. Now, on the lower time frames, we are near an area of resistance, but this is not what I want to discuss today. I want to go over the 4-hourly time frame. Ideally, we are going to pull back above this buy side liquidity that we have resting over here. Now, why is that? Because above the buy side liquidity is where we have this previous order block that should now act as resistance. On top of that, if we take this swing high to this swing low, which caused this structural shift over here, we can see that the premium of that move is also aligning with that area of interest. On the daily time frame, we can also see that we have a bearish daily fair value gap, once again, aligning with our area of interest. So ideally, to look for shorts, as I'm still looking for shorts until we reach my target over here, last week's weekly Outlook video playing out perfectly so far. If we want to target this NFP low over here, we want to look for shorts. Looking for shorts would ideally be above this buy side liquidity, see shifts in structure, target this liquidity, and eventually this drawn liquidity over here as well. Very clear plan, very easy invalidation, right? If we push above this high going towards this area, I prefer not to look for shorts anymore. Then I think at some point we will take out this liquidity over here. Why? Because everyone that is looking to short the pullback is forgetting that if we push in towards this area, that we are simply breaking structure over here, that we are simply shifting structure to the upside again on the 1-hourly time frame. If that occurs, why would we go for new lows afterwards if structure on the 1-hourly time frame is potentially turning bullish again? So I prefer to get a little bit of a sweep over here, shift structure, and go down towards these liquidity lows that I just marked out. Let's move over to the last but not least, GBP. And GBP is definitely already on the lower time frames, potentially looking interesting for some kind of a continuation to the downside. And I will explain to you guys why. Because a lot of people are currently waiting for GBP to take out this high, right? But if Euro is going to take out this high and GBP is as well, we are not going to create any kind of bearish SMT divergence. But let's say Euro is potentially going to go for this high that we put in over here, and GBP and Euro are obviously correlated, and at the same time GBP is forming a lower high, then we create a bearish SMT divergence, which could potentially indicate a potential top before further continuation to the downside. Now on the lower time frames, we are already potentially creating something like that, in which GBP is forming a slow grind to the upside, which is something that you never like to see, right? Because if you slow grind to the upside, you are building up a lot of liquidity beneath all of these higher lows, and those higher lows are a big draw on liquidity for a potential squeeze to the downside. Now, during this move to the upside, we took out a very important liquidity high, which is this high over here. Why does this high carry significance? Because everyone that was looking for shorts over here, and over here, and also on the pullback, and those shorts were targeting this NFP low over here, where do you think that those people will put their stop loss? Above this high. Now you're probably wondering, why are they putting their stop above this high, guru, and not this high or this high? Well, let me simply show you. Let's say they're opening up a breakdown short over here targeting that NFP low, right? But NFP low is over here, that's our target. If we put our stop above the high over here, we only have an RR of 0.55. It's not worth the RR, right? Now, in the meantime, my coffee machine is washing itself as usual during the Monday update video, so apologies for that, but we are going to continue. If they put their stop above this high, the RR is 0.9, still not that well. But a lot of people are eventually targeting this low. And this low then offers an RR of 2.67, which is worth the RR. Now, once again, let's say we put our stop above this high instead of this high, the RR is only 1.17, not worth it. Put it above this high, it's only 1.62, not worth it. So most of the stops were resting above this high, which we took out. After that slow grind up and taking out a liquidity high, GBP shifted structure on the 5-minute time frame to the downside with quite some momentum, right? We swept this flat 5-minute candle into the bearish M5 fair value gap over here, right? Also, if we go from our swing high over here to our swing low, we tapped into the premium, so potentially GBP can continue to the downside from here, going for this week, and these equal lows over here potentially. Definitely something to keep our eyes on for GBP. If you guys do have any questions after watching today's update video on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Euro, and also GBP, let me know in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoy these weekly update videos. If you guys do have any questions, let me know. Also, make sure to join the free Discord server. This video was sponsored by PrimeXBT. Definitely make sure to check out their platform as well if you want to be able to trade Forex and commodities with your own funds. And they're also offering crypto futures trading on 8 different pairs already, and they will be expanding those pairs soon. One of the top exchanges out there. Make sure to check them out as well. Affiliate link can be found in the description down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll speak to you guys very, very soon. Ciao, ciao.